Hey folks, welcome back to the Rockin' Sea Homestead. My name is Lance. I want to welcome you to our channel. And today we are involved in a collaboration put on by the farm at Route 66. And it is called Soup for Your Soul. And we have a long list of other contributors to this collaboration. Those will be down in the description. So please go check them out. They'll be glad to see you. And if, hey, it may be one of those sites that you've never seen before. And if you like what they do, subscribe. Ring that bell for them. Just like if you haven't ring our bell yet, subscribe and ring ours. That'd be great. All right, so for this collaboration, we are going to make the Copycat Panera Autumn Squash Soup. We love soup, especially in the fall time, autumn, and we're going to use some butternut squash, some pumpkin puree, and we're going to make it up here. And we love a butternut squash type of soup, so this is going to be awesome. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. First thing we got to do is peel and chop these things up, so let's get to it real quick. All right, now since we got these all nice and peeled, we got them cut in half. We're gonna take out the seeds. After we do that, then we'll cube them up. And then we're gonna roast them in the oven, and we'll be right back after we cube these things up. All right, so we got all the butternut squash cubed up, ready to go. Now we're doubling this recipe for just just a single serving of the recipe. It calls for 1 butternut squash, and when I look at other recipes, that's about a 3-pound squash, or 3-pound squashes, just a cumulative number. So we got 6 pounds of squash. So we're gonna also need to add in some onions. So we're just gonna peel and quarter these, and then once we're done, we're gonna mix this with some olive oil, salt and pepper, and then get it ready for the oven. All right, so since we're doubling it, we're going to put in 4 tablespoons of olive oil. So if you're just going to do a single one, you just put a couple, or however much you want. This is just going to be roasted, so. And then it says salt and pepper to taste, so whatever you guys think that is good for you, that's usually good for us. Marcy's not the hugest pepper fan. Okay. And I'm just going to try to evenly coat these. All right, so we preheated the oven to 450. And then of course we got all of these babies covered with some olive oil and salt and pepper. And we're putting these on some covered sheet trays. And we're just trying to even these up. And since the oven's already at temperature, we're going to stick this in there for 20 minutes, let them roast, and they should be good to go. All right, so since these are squishy to the fork test, that's what I like to call it, then we take it out. We have to let this cool for 10 minutes. Once it's cooled for 10 minutes, then we'll put it in the food processor and puree it. All right, so the butternut squash mixture and onion mixture has cooled down, so we're just putting it into the food processor. Going to puree it. May have to do this in a couple batches. It does smell very, very good. So, like I said, we're going to put this in the food processor. We're going to puree it. Now, you can also use like a blender or an immersion blender. We just figured this may just be a better way of doing it. All right, so we got the butternut and onion puree in there in a big stock pot. Now we're going to put the pumpkin puree. Now again, since we're going to double this recipe, we're using a big can. If you were just going to use a single batch, you would just use one of the smaller ones. See if I got almost all that out of there. Okay. Then we're going to go for vegetable broth. It calls for 2 cups. Since we're doubling it, we're going to make it 4 cups. That's what this whole container is. Now, we have tried to make this recipe with our own chicken broth or bone broth, and it's almost overpowering for the soup. So I would suggest just getting the vegetable broth, or you can use whatever you want, but just know sometimes we'll change the flavor of that. So it also calls for apple cider. So 1.5 cups of that. We're doubling it to 3. And then it asks for heavy cream. And again, 1.5 cups. So we're going to put in 3. And then I'm going to give this and get this all mixed up. I know it seems like a lot of liquid, but you're going to cook it down a little bit. And it is soup, right? All right, we got everything mixed up. So at this point, we're going to turn on a medium heat. And we want this to come to a boil. Once it comes to a boil, then that's when we're going to do the spices. So we're going to put in a little curry. We're going to mix in a little honey and some cinnamon. And then after that, we'll just let it cook. So we're just going to let this come to boil. All right, so the soup mixture is at a low boil. It's just barely bubbling, and I kind of turned it down so it kind of stop it from getting to too heavy of a boil. So now we're going to add in the spices. So we have a 1/4 teaspoon of curry, a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, and then 2 tablespoons of honey. Of course, I'm doubling all of that. So the curry and the cinnamon all is in this little container here. It smells so good. And then we have the honey. I'm just going to incorporate all of that. And I tell you, if you had smell-o-vision, this smells so good. All right, so we're just going to get this mixed in and let it cook down a little bit. All right, so we simmered this for 10 minutes. Everything looks to be incorporated, smells wonderful. So now it's time to taste test. All right, so we got a little bowl of soup here. Now, on the recipe, it did say that you could put some pumpkin seeds. I'm not the hugest pumpkin seed fan, so I'm just gonna leave that off. I would prefer little crackers. But right now, I'm just gonna taste it just like it is. It's plenty warm. Talking about a soup that warms the soul right here. All right, folks, that is it. That is how you make autumn squash soup. Again, I'm so happy to be a part of this collaboration. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed our video. Make sure you go down and click on all of those other videos that are going to be down in the description, or at least to those channels, and to the playlist where all the videos are going to be. We really do appreciate that. And thanks for watching our videos all the way to the end. We really do appreciate that. It helps out the channel a bunch. Make sure you give us a thumbs up, leave some comments, and if you haven't subscribed, click that subscribe button, kick that bell so you get notified every time a video comes out. And from our homestead to yours, have a blessed day, and we'll catch you on the next video.